Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dancing Oracle with Najia. I'm here in one of my favorite places, but I came to hop on for a little bit and tell you about how amazing the universe is, how the universe just allows and lines things up just perfectly when you don't try to interfere. So I want to tell you that before I came here today, I went to the chiropractor and I ran in to my best friend. I have been so busy. I have been so busy restarting YouTube, taking care of my niece and my nephew during the summer, doing a million things, crazy house stuff, Airbnb, everything, that it's been really hard for me to get to have time with my friends. And he's really busy. He's going, in and out of state, running all over the place as well. So our schedules have a really hard time um, hooking up and coming together. And he's like family to me. He was like family to my parents. He's really wonderful. And I've been missing him and I feel really badly. And I've been feeling, oh, I'm not a good friend. I'm not a good friend because I can't make time for him. And I'm usually really good about making time for people. And I have not been to that chiropractor in 4 months. I didn't even know he was seeing that chiropractor. And it's been over 4 months. And I have been needing to go to that chiropractor so badly. And I was just in so much pain lately. I'm like, I'm going to make some time. I'm going to go on Tuesday. Excuse me. And I walk in and I'm about to run into the restroom really quickly before my adjustment. And I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I just was like, wow. I have been trying, I have been trying to make time, or even phone calls are difficult. It's really hard. There's a few texts here and there, but he's always in my heart. And the universe just made it happen. In fact, this is a very important thing for one of my YouTube clients who scheduled a reading with me. And I told this person that when someone is in your heart and you have the energy lined up, when you're vibing in the right space and you're in that space of allowing, and you're also in a higher vibration, you have to, I think, take care of yourself, right? So I was finally taking care of myself, other than coming to the woods, which I do. Once a week I'll come to the woods, to sometimes twice a week if I'm lucky, and get a couple hours in. Oh, look how beautiful the leaves are falling. And what are the odds? What are the odds that we would have an appointment with the same chiropractor at the same time? I mean, he's scheduled like 10 minutes before me, and then he was going into a special treatment room after his adjustment. I love this chiropractor because you not only get adjustments, you get these other treatments that really help reduce inflammation and make you feel good. And I feel amazing after my appointment. And I feel even more amazing that I should never worry about making things happen. I have to do my part, I have to line up my energy. But if the universe wants me to see someone, it'll find a way for me to see that person, even though my schedule's crazy and his schedule's crazy. I told my client it's happened to me at airports, at like rest stops traveling, or just all kinds of places. Like you're just meeting someone that's on your mind, and there they are. You're thinking about someone all week, and then all of a sudden, you're meeting them in a very unexpected place. So that's divine design. That makes me think about when I start to worry about life. It's not easy. Life is not easy. It is something. And I'm always trying to recalibrate my life and to concentrate on beauty, to concentrate on spirituality and connection, and not to dwell on the things that are difficult. So when I met my friend there, I just said, everything's just fine. Everything's just fine. Everything's going to be all right. I hugged him so many times. Um, it was wonderful. It had been too long. It had been way too long, too many months, especially when someone is is that close, you know? You know, I mean, we're close friends, we're like decades of friendship, and more than half of my life we're like family. It was like family to my family who've passed away. He was so good to my parents. So I was talking about my mom in the Keanu Reeves video earlier today, because I know whenever I do the celebrity readings, I'm a medium as well. Um, all kinds of people come through my body when I do readings like when I do a longer reading for people, their loved ones will come through. So lately, I used to be upset because my mom wouldn't come through that much. I get a lot of signs from my dad every day, at least 3 signs. We got this whole thing going on. My dad's passed away 11 years ago, and oh my God, he sends me these number combinations every day, every single day without fail since the day he passed. And my mom, not so much. Um, when my little nephew would come visit me, and the first time I hadn't seen my little nephew in a couple of years because they moved far away. My mom, right after I had this conversation with my grandnephew, my my grandnephew I'm calling my nephew, but he's really my grandnephew, and his mom, who is my niece. I had a conversation with her for the first time in a long time because there's always family issues that go on, and it's sad. And she was connecting back to me. And just when I got home, there was a whole bunch of signs my mom sent me. Feather, the whole long story. I gotta go on YouTube and tell you that story. But the one way my mom will come through, uh, typically before I was doing these YouTube readings, is, oh, just see that bluebird? That beautiful bluebird just flew by. So she would come through, like whenever I was going to see my little nephew, her fragrance, her overwhelming fragrance would come about. The first time it happened, I was walking up my back steps and I smell my mom's combination of 10 perfumes at once. Now, My mom was always asking me to buy perfume. And oh God, she would wear them all at once. And it would drive me crazy because it was hard to breathe around her. She was very lovable, but boy, it was hard. And my dad would go, "Oh, not in the car, please, honey. I can't drive." He says, "My eyes are burning." And, but it was overwhelming. And she was known for wearing every perfume, every French perfume at once. And she would say, "I want to smell like a French whore." She was something, just Scorpio. So whenever my nephew was going to come, the first time it happened, I didn't understand what was going on. I said, "What is going on in my backyard? It's like all this perfume. What's so bizarre?" I go in the house. My house smells like perfume. Like, oh my God, something must have got up my nose. I'm going to go shower and like see if I can wash this out. I don't know what's going on. I couldn't sleep at night. It was crazy. The next day, I'm smelling the perfume. And then I see my grandniece, my grandnephew. I meet up with them at a festival with my niece and all the doggies. And oh, I smell it even stronger. I mean, I'm at a whole different place and it's increasing because the kids are around. And that means my mom is around. Their great grandmom is around. So I said, "Oh, this is her. This is her. I'm being trailed. I'm being trailed by the diva." So that lasted all day until I got in the car and I realized, I said goodbye to the kids. And I guess she said goodbye too, because the smell went away. And then different times when they were coming over the night before. And I think about this. I think about this night before thing because a lot of other mediums who are contacting people's loved ones, they will meet with them the night before. They'll start coming in the night before they actually have the meeting with that loved one through the phone or through meeting in person through the psychic. And I thought there's really something to this. But lately, lately, she's making my nose itch. And she would always say, when your nose itches, someone's talking about you or thinking about you. And it only happens when I do the celebrity readings. So again, I'm doing a Keanu Reeves reading today from one of my viewers requested on the celebrity request video, will Keanu Reeves leave Hollywood? And my mom was so into reading about celebrities. She was a little obsessed. She would ask me to go to the store and buy her the Enquirer and the Globe, and I'd feel all embarrassed. I'm like, "Oh, Mom, do you really? I have to go?" Because she didn't drive. So I said, "Okay, I'll pick them up for you." And she would lay on the floor and read and have a cup of coffee, lay on the floor. And that was her thing. And just love reading it. And I said, that stuff's not true. Hardly any of it's real. She goes, "I don't care. I love it." I said, "Okay, all right." So I think that whenever I'm doing she would also be proud that and take credit for me doing psychic readings. Not because she was a psychic. She would say, "Oh, I got you into all that stuff." Because, yeah, she did get me into like going to psychics and she got me into astrology big time. I'm not an astrologer, but boy, I do know a lot. I've read a lot, but I'm not an astrologer. Um, and I got into palmistry for a while. We grew up Catholic, but She didn't follow. She was called a rebel. She would call herself a rebel. So even though we grew up Catholic and I was thinking of becoming a nun for a couple years, so I was for a while just putting all that stuff away. I was doing all this volunteer work for the convent on a weekly basis and doing all the devotions and prayers, to Mary. And then, at some point I decided I'm going to lead as close to a regular life as possible. Uh, One of the nuns um, told me I might discover boys and want a family, and that it's really hard to live with other women. And you do travel the world, but you have no control over where you're going to go, and that you don't own anything, and it's hard. She gave me the real picture of what that was like. And I really wanted a spiritual life. I'm a seeker. So I thought being a nun was the way to get closer to God. Now I've gone the other route. I think some people would, uh, you know, I think that someone did. I only had to ever block one comment. Someone said I was like the devil, whatever, doing this tarot stuff. I might have blocked it. Maybe I didn't block them. Maybe I just deleted the comment because it was causing a bad vibe on the page. But this is how I seek connection to spirit through the cards, through tuning into my guides, tuning into other people's guides, coming into nature every week. It's part of my prescription. I've done it since the spring. I said I really need to do some self-care, and this has been my way, coming out in nature and finding some balance in life. So I hope that you can learn from me that intuition is very important, connecting to spirit. The cards aren't going to tell you anything scary. They're just a mirror of your energy. They're there to help you. Just messages from your guides. That's it. Angels and guides. And they they communicate through cards. They communicate through spirit animals that you may see along the way while you're out in nature. They'll communicate through other people's what they say. They'll communicate through repeating numbers. I get that every day from my dad, 3 times a day for 11 years. So I know that some things are coming up in the world that are difficult. Been feeling it. This is the calm before the storm. And I've been feeling it. I've kind of been worried, but I know that change is not easy, but it's changing for the better, but it's not going to be easy. But when I saw that our meeting each other today was just so incredibly divine timing, I realized there's nothing to worry about. Everything's fine. So if you have any worries, if you're tuning into my channel and you worry about things, realize that team, your team of ancestors, your team of angels, your team of guides that are with you birth, and some come at different points of your life. There's a team behind everyone. When I do readings, I see a team behind those people. I don't always know who I'm talking to, but they come through me, and they often come through my body. A lot of intuition comes right through the physical body. So pay attention, everyone. Tune in more. and find a way to take away your stress in life like I do. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, share. It would mean a lot to me. And I hope to see you back. Now I gotta go find how to stop recording as I fumble. There it is. I'm on my phone instead of my computer. Oh, where is it? End meeting. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to stop recording. Stop recording. All right, bye everyone.